Hey everybody, welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. I'm so glad you guys are back here with me for another episode. You'll have to excuse my voice because I've lost my voice last night, but we're gonna push through because we still need to make dinner. Dinner is never ending, but you know what? It's one of those things. It's perfectly all right. Today we're gonna be making an easy dinner for you. It is a Friday, and this weekend we're gonna be making a few different dishes, which hopefully I'll be able to document with my voice. But we're gonna be making some beef short ribs in the crock pot. I have made this before. We're gonna make it a little bit different this time. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you've seen this recipe before. But we're gonna get right into it, folks. So I'm gonna show you our crock pot here. I have the crock pot insert here. And what I've done is I've taken our spare ribs, I've rinsed them. I'm just gonna drop them right into our liner. And then now we're just gonna season these up. These will cook down significantly. So just so you're aware, because there's a lot of fat content on there. But later on, we're going to remove the fat and use a fat separator. So it's gonna be really nice. So for our seasoning, we're gonna use parsley, onion and garlic powder, salt and pepper. I'm gonna get some minced garlic in here as well. And then we're gonna use some port wine. And then for the sauce, I'm gonna pour some barbecue sauce in here as well. I'm gonna let this cook on low for about 8 hours. And I'll be home with it, so I'm gonna check it periodically and see if it needs anything. And yeah, because it might need a little bit more barbecue sauce, and I'll have to turn them over a little bit, mix them all around. But that's really it, honestly. This is one of the easiest crock pot proteins that we really enjoy. You can do several things with this. You can shred it after you take the fat off. You can shred it, put it on tacos, sandwiches. You can just eat it shredded alongside some sides, whatever you like. Really, really easy. And then here's our port wine. I'm just gonna be, if you're not familiar with port wine, it's a sweeter red wine. So it really goes well with beef, either roasts, obviously we're using it on ribs, any beef product, it's really, really tasty on. And then now I'm just gonna add some barbecue sauce in here. And then we're gonna get our minced garlic. We're gonna give this a mix, and then I'm gonna pop it right on our crock pot. And I will leave you guys the recipe down in the description box below for you guys. Just adding in our minced garlic now. And then I'm just gonna take a pair of tongs here and just mix it up a little bit. This beef is from the half a cow that we order. We order a half a cow every year. So we like to order our protein as best as we can from local farmers. So it doesn't come with a lot of chemicals and whatever else they're trying to inject into the animals nowadays. So I definitely recommend that. Source locally for your food the best you can. So here's what we're starting with. I'm gonna pop this on low for 8 hours, and I'll see you guys back in a little bit. Friends, so the day has progressed. Our 8 hours on our crock pot is almost up. So I'm going to, but everything is falling apart. So you just want the meat to fall off of the bone very, very easily. I've been turning it throughout the day just to kind of baste both sides of the meat. I haven't had to add any more liquid to it. Now, if you didn't want to use wine, you can always use a beef stock. I wouldn't recommend water because water doesn't really have that much flavor. But if you want to make your own, if you have some bouillon at home, you can do some water and then add a couple, 2 to 3 bouillon cubes. And that'll be your beef stock, because that's just going to give you a lot more flavor. Now, what I'm going to do next is really simple. I'm going to give you a look of the crock pot where it's at right now, and then I'll give you a look of I made some cheesy mashed potatoes to go along with it, and then I'll have, some sort of vegetable on the side. But what we're gonna do with the meat is very simple. We're just gonna separate the bones and the fat from the meat, and then we're gonna shred up the beef, and I'm gonna put it in my bowl here. And then the beef is pretty much done at that point. I can put a little bit more sauce on it, a little more barbecue sauce. Now, if you want to use the sauce that is in the crock pot, I would advise putting it through a fat separator. If you don't have one, it is a good investment. They're really not that expensive, and they're good for making gravies or sauces or whatnot. Basically, I have this kind of contraption here. This is an OXO one. You pour your liquid in here, you let it settle, and then eventually what happens is the fat will rise up above this nozzle, and then when you pour, you're pouring from the bottom because the fat will rise to the top, and you pour out your sauce or your gravy, and that way hence the name fat separator. It's separating the fat from your sauce or your gravy. So these are really nice little tools to have. Okay, so I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys what we have, and then we're gonna get this dinner pulled together. Here is our cheesy and sour cream mashed potatoes. This was just some golden potatoes, peeled, boiled, and milk, butter, salt, pepper, garlic powder, parsley, with a little bit of sour cream and some pepper jack cheese. Here's a look of what the beef looks like right now. When you're moving the meat around, you can tell that the beef just pulls right off of the bone. That's what we want. So this really only took about 6.5 hours. Alrighty guys, so this is what our beef looks like, all shredded up and ready to go. Like I said, you can pour a little bit more sauce on here if you'd like. I have our fat separator working. I just want to show you what it looks like. You just pour your sauce on the top, and this is what we have in the crock pot. And then if you look closely, you'll see the sauce is right here and the fat is right here. So whenever you go to pour that out, you're gonna have your sauce, because it weighs more, is gonna overwhelm. So when you pour that out at the spout, you're gonna be getting your sauce instead of your fat. Alright guys, so here is our pulled beef with our cheesy mashed potatoes and some green beans. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, friends.